Alrighty, YouTube, we're back with round 2. This time we've got our very own TJ playing D-Brigade on the left.
Woo!
Going up against Will playing Wargreymon X on the right. As I said before in the other video, this is round 2 of our weekly locals at Dean's Dugout over in Naperville. Great spot. Love to support their store, so, thanks for always being there for us. And without further ado, let's jump into round 2.
So, going into this matchup, I was terrified because D-Brigade can have probably one of the worst matchups against Wargreymon, considering Hades Force, Raid Wargreymon being able to block me twice and unsuspend. But D-Brigade does do D-Brigade things and sometimes can be pretty quick to where it can actually throw up a decent match. But yeah, so we see Will start off with an Agu Redman boost play, just sort of getting himself set up.
So I see the reciprocal for you.
Yeah.
Commandra and then Pride to play out blocker Commandra.
Yeah, I was very focused on making sure I kept him at 1 as much as I could.
That's a smart thing to do, for sure.
Will he's very efficient.
He does Agu X to get Raid Wargreymon and a X antibody, then Digivolves into Greymon for 1 since Agu is in the stack.
And it's deciding what he wants to do. Does go Metal Gray, chokes me to 1. I go ahead and push up here. I'm just like, all right. I'm looking at my hand, just trying to consider future plays, just to see how I want to maybe move on past these guys. And I think I just opt to swing here. I don't remember though. We'll see.
Pop the boost.
Pop the boost.
See.
Oh, I remember what I was doing here. Okay, so I go Steelers Vermont for jamming, swing to get a check in. Guarantee I live. Commander swing and die, and then I think I wanted to make sure I had jamming because I wanted to be able to play an option. I think. Considering what that stack's going to do to me next turn.
Yeah. Because you lose the reboot too, right?
Yeah, correct. Right now, as long as I don't have another D-Brigade body on board. Which I purposely choose to make sure I don't get my reboot. Gain the memory off Izzy. I put the cards on top.
He can't raid.
Yeah. Can't raid, so he won't be able to redirect and get his free tamer. And I mean, I don't expect the stack to live either way because I knew it was going to get raided into if I left it. But Will sort of considering his plays here, seeing what he wants to do. He has a lot of different options. Does opt to just swing. Then
reboot. Fair enough.
Yep.
I think you did what you were saying too, like that. Like the most memory efficient play was just probably Izzy at that point because you do essentially just play him for 3 with your deck as opposed to the 4.
Yep.
So
puts him at 2, so he has to pass turn pretty much. And sets me back to 3 so I can cook a little bit. And I'm sitting here and I'm kind of considering what I want to do. I'm like, oh, I could just throw out 2 D-Brigade cards. And I'm like, wait, he has Rainbow Growth Piercing. I don't know if this is a smart play. And then I'm looking at Primary Boost. I'm like, well, wait, that's going to just also play out a Digimon that he's going to just swing right through. So
the thing at this point, you're probably just looking to choke as best you can, though, right?
Yeah, I think that's what I ultimately opt to do. So I think I do decide on the Pride. Yeah. Top 3, I do hit Commander Mon, which I'm like, okay, well, if he raids into it, I can play out another body that he can raid into, so good for him. He goes into Greymon X, Metal Gray for 1. So the cool thing with the Metal Gray is it's not that he has to redirect, it's just all turns when an attack is redirected. So that Metal Gray can play out a Tamer just off of him redirecting with the Wargreymon.
Right.
So he activates the effect, plays out a tie, which is good. It's clever play by him. He's resolving effects, so I'm just waiting. Gains his memory because of the Greymon Heritable. Pops. I play out another Commandra. I'm like, yay, woohoo! And then he pierces for 2 checks because of the tie.
Ooh.
First check DG Dimension, so it pops or D-Digivolves 1 on 3 of your opponent's Digimon, and then pops 3 of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 6 or less.
Oh my lord!
He hit a second one, dude. I was like, Will was like, oh, that's not good. And I'm just like, that doesn't happen. I mean, you've played against my D-Brigade list. Yeah. You know how rare it is for my actual bombs to come out of security. When they do, they come out in full force. But more often than not, it does not occur in such a manner. It usually ends up being like 3 Commandramons, maybe a Tamer, and then like a Pride memory boost or a Black memory
We'll
boost.
see. Will here just play out Search for Agu. Look at top 4. He picks up a Greymon X and a tie, which good value for him. But those 2 options in succession, I think turn the game quite quickly.
Yeah, it saved my ass because I had no means of dealing with that stuff otherwise.
Good swing. So, you hit an Agu X to die. Swing Commandra. Yep. Ooh, big guy.
And surprisingly, he lives because I hit a 1K Agu. So I just go ahead. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's D-Brigade things. Let's just wideboard. I keep the Pride Mem boost just in case I need the extra memory next turn. I am forgetting to unsuspend him right now, but he does get unsuspended in a minute if I remember correctly. My brain was just not thinking because I was already thinking about next turn. Come on, me. Touch the card. Realize you have reboot. You idiot. I don't. Okay, it's fine. I unsuspend now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We get there. It's fine. Yeah. That's okay. I don't think it would have changed game state.
Swing, yeah.
So you block, force him to block, and then I have, reveal top 3, nothing plays out, and then I just BT4 Darkramon. He just goes. He asked me if I had it, and I'm just like, yeah. He's like, all right, let's just go next. And then the rest of my security, I had another Iron Fisted at the very end there, which I'm like, whew.
Yeah.
That's the hottest D-Brigade security I've had in a minute. So game 2, I actually somehow managed to take game 1. Somehow managed. I got very lucky.
Yeah, but I mean, I still think you set yourself up well. I mean, yes, security did help you out for sure, but I think you did everything you could have in your power to make it happen.
Yeah, I definitely think I played about as effectively as I could have. I don't think there was a better way for me to play out the match. But definitely security coming in clutch. And I think that first hand's awful. Yeah, I think it was like
immediate just moment.
Yeah, I saw. It was like I think it was like, if I remember, it's a Darkramon, it's a Death X. I think there's a Tamer and like 2 options, and I was like, yeah, no,
oh, God.
this ain't it, Chief.
Both players mulligan. You guys draw your hands, and here we go.
Yeah.
Assuming Will decides. Yep. He decides to go first. Go into Agu.
He's like, he looked me in the eye. He's like, I'm not letting you go first. He's like, I don't think it's smart for me to let you go first. I'm like,
picks up a Searcher Agu.
Yeah, just trying and get some consistency going. I'm considering what to do. I did evolve into a BT4 commander in the back, and then I drew a blocker commander off that, so I just play that outside into 1, which is like, couldn't be better.
Plays out the Searcher Agu once again, looks at 4, and picks up a Metal Gray and tie. So he's starting to build up a line.
Yeah, he's finding his pieces. I swing. I live, unfortunately.
Okay.
He lives as well. And I was like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh. Okay. It was like, this is not good for me. Because I just gave him a memory setter. Someone's going to give him a memory, and he has a red mem boost on board. So I just play the Izzy. Organize my cards.
Yeah.
All right. Remember reboot, TJ. Remember reboot. You do it. I know you do. I know there's a match where I remember it. I think it is this match because he starts going up his line, and then I realize he has raid, and I'm like, oh wait, he should be able to raid into me.
Yeah.
Which I think it's
there. You go.
There it is. There it is. Where I'm just like, oh shoot, right, I have reboot. I'm just not used to that egg. I need to get used to. I'm so used to the Pagumon egg still.
Sure. Yeah.
I gotta make sure I stop dropping the ball on that.
He swings, declares raid, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Is deciding what Tamer he wants to play out.
Plays another tie. Gives the Agu blocker.
Yep, does not have X anybody.
To play out another Commandra.
He's back.
Agu swings over that little guy.
Yeah, which he gave the plus 1K on the tie-on play to the Agu to make sure he could swing over. Which made sense. A smart call. And then he goes Raid Wargrey, which I'm just like, well, Now what? I don't have another rookie in hand. I just have this Commandra. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. He does have a lot of things on boards, and I have Death X in hand, so I'm
I was about to say Death X probably would be a good out.
Yeah, and I'm like, do I want to swing with Commandra and risk whiffing and then just have it do nothing, let him unsuspend, yada yada? I'm like, no, I think it's better if I try and wait till I have a turn where I can like really put the aggression on and force him to have to answer the body.
Sure.
Rather than me answer it for him. So I just play out Death X for 5, de-digivolve 1, delete that, and just see what he does.
Which, I mean, I guess Death X before, like back in BT9, BT10, like it was like pretty goated. I think there's a lot of ways to get around Death X now. Like it's still a really good card to drop and like kind of deal with boards. But I mean, I think Wargrey is an example of it, right? Where like you can easily climb and get to a point where like you're just either swinging over it, popping it, and whatever.
Like raid keyword alone just makes it such more of an issue, and things DP climb just so effectively now. And he swings for 2 checks with piercing. Does gain his memory back.
Oh no, whiff.
Yeah, and the whiff I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, okay. He pops Mem Boost, puts himself to 3. Just a stop to Agu. Just more search, more consistency. Make sure he has another line ready to go in case something does happen with those other security checks, because I think he said, and I quote, I'm spooked by what you have in there. Whiffs entirely off the Agu X effect, though, unfortunately. And
goes
just
Greymon.
Goes Greymon for 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
Taps both ties to keep turn.
Yep. And then I was just asking to make sure you got the memory off Wargreymon X, so I didn't see him put it back over because I'm blind.
Just goes Greymon in the back again, too.
I'm doing some weird finicky hand movement with my cards right now. Don't know what the fuck that was.
It was in the Red Wargreymon. Okay.
Yep.
Or Metal Gray.
Yeah. So he does that. I'm sitting there. I'm counting cards. I think I go ahead and I'm just like, yeah. So I'm no rookie, so I'm like, I need to try and just like set myself up for a draw in case security does do me a favor.
Sure.
So I put them there. I just play them out. The only thing that's blocker is that. So I just swing for a check. I die, of course.
You got 3 Iron Fisted in hand.
Yes.
Oh,
listen, that's normally what happens. That's normally how it goes, where I have too many things in hand. Too many options. I think I have 4 of those. I think I have 1 copy of... I think I have 1 Pride. I just play 8 for 8. I'm just going to shut a protection on it.
Sure.
Force him to have to waste next antibody card to protect it further. Or otherwise it's going to just be at risk. And so this time I'm like, okay. If he hits a DG Dimension, there's a shot. I can maybe do something, because I'll blow up 2 of his tags.
I mean, that is a board to go against. Like, jeez.
Yeah, he's considering what he wants to do. He's
cycling again.
Yeah. Sure. That Greymon for 2, but make it free.
Jeez.
Alterous. Yeah, he's cooking. He's just setting up stacks.
Oh, boy.
Where I'm sitting here at this point, I'm like, ain't no way. I'm like, even if he hits a DG Dimension at this point, it's not going to be enough. Unless there's 3 in there. Which swings for 2 checks. Pride, that. And I knew it was over at this point. Like, I do see it DG. So those both digivolve, and that goes bye-bye.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter. Because he has Gaio, and then he has Blitz on me. Yeah. And I gave him so much memory, he was able to do it. But still, like, D-Brigade's still trying to do work. It's basically just like a weird pseudo security control deck right now that just tries to
it's like
swing
this like
fast
rookie rush security control sort of idea.
Yeah. Just pretty much, I mean, I'm so excited for BT14, man. That's going to be so good.
We're going to be talking about it soon.
Yep, that's true. We are. Those end of turn effects to play stuff out. And then Tommy strips my sources and I get bounced by on a Zulong that digivolves for free. Because I have 5 things on board and he just sends everything back. And I cry. But game 3.
Choose the mulligan.
Yeah, I had 2 Seals Drone and 1 Commander. I was like, the way I rule it pretty much when I'm playing D-Brigade, I'm like, if I don't see the BT4 Commandramon opening turn, I don't want that hand.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, the BT4 one is the one that, like, on deletion, you get to cycle through and possibly play out something.
Yeah.
Which
you reveal top 3 and play Commander mod.
That guy right there.
Yep. Which I did open up with him and the other Commander, so I was like, perfect, cool.
You know, because I mean, you know, for those who don't play D-Brigade a whole lot or just don't know what the deck does, because it is an older deck, it's one of the more OG decks, but we haven't really seen it around a whole lot. You know, like your whole idea is to try to just put out as many little guys as possible and just swing.
Yeah, it's from a rookie rush strategy that it no longer exists, unfortunately, or at least exists effectively. So I swing. We're both 5k, so he opts not to block the first one. Does block the second commander though, which lets me just play out another 5k commander, which is huge. It's really nice. And I pride.
Sure.
Then I realized I realized what he had in back, where he would have gone to 3 off the Agu, pushing it up. So I opted just block memory boost, so he has to work a bit harder.
Yeah.
To go up his stack.
And
a lot of commander mons.
Pick up one of the blocker ones, I think, right?
Yeah, I did. Not that it really helps me here, but I was like, well, it's a 4-drop, so if he puts me to 3, I can easily drop it and choke him to 1 again.
Sure. So Will pushes up with the Agu. Starter deck Agu will gain you a memory if your opponent has a Digimon in play, so goes up to 2 and then plays out a Searcher Agu to just help search for pieces, it looks like.
It just took me to 1. Go ahead and I go commander in the back, and so swing, just a little bit of aggression. It opts not to block again because he doesn't want to lose the stack. And I mem boost, and then I play the commander, and then so my mindset was like, well, I did Digi 3 and then pop 3. So I'm like, well, I might as well just do this and just set him back entirely, so he has to start working on a new stack. Even if I put him at 8, I should have enough time to just at least get 2 more checks the next turn, or he's going to have to play on board, which is scary for him with me having Iron Fisted Onslaught and other stuff.
I think we could probably tell, too, with how conservative he was with that, like, Greymon stack, that he kind of wanted to keep that, you know?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well during it. I was like, he doesn't swing with it, he isn't blocking with it because he doesn't want to lose it because he's missing other pieces. So it's best for me to just set him back further, and on the off chance that he's maybe missing other level 3s at this point because he's played so many, or if he's missing level 4s, which, I mean, he starts finding stuff. He sees pieces, starts going up his line.
That is ballsy playing it out there in the open, I feel like.
Yeah. But this does leave me to my own devices. Just getting memory off X antibody. Assuming that you have to block that one. Yeah, stop the reboot, which makes sense. And so I'm sitting here, I'm trying to consider what I want to do. Looking at sources. I was considering doing Darkmon play, but I'm like, wait, I can't do that. I need to play it for 13, and then I gain memory back. So I just pride with just Sag. And at that point, I'm like, oh man, game's over. I'm like, I have no other rookie in hand. I just have this little guy on board. He has a memory setter tie and a blocker tie. He has 2 level 4 stacks going. Like, I was very not optimistic about my chances.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Metal Gray for 1 because of Wargreymon X's effect to reduce the Digivolution cost 1 per color.
Free my boy! Free him! If Garuru X stays, then he should get to stay.
Then going to Metal Gray X for free. So we're looking at a pretty strong stack there.
Gnarly stack. Swings through with piercing. Does that. X antibody effect, I believe he uses. He opts not to Digivolve. Interesting. So I DG Dimension. So that does mess him up a little bit. He loses 1 stack. That's gone. And so I'm sitting here now and I'm realizing he had the Wargreymon X in hand. And I'm wondering why he didn't Digivolve into that.
Maybe it was like for the memory stuff. Like there wasn't a good way to choke you otherwise, you know?
I mean, he would have...
Would have gained... I don't know.
He would have gained memory back, so that's why I'm like...
Okay, well... Here you go into the BT4 Commandra.
Yeah.
You're at 2 memory. Pop the boost to go to 4. Nice. Oof.
And I just Death X here for a lot. But I know that it's going to delete the stack because it's the Wargreymon X there. So I'm like, this is the best play. He didn't... Did you have over it? Didn't leave it us.
Well, I mean, depending on what he does, too. I mean, you've got Darkdra in hand.
Yeah.
So
Darktra in hand.
That's a good play.
I know I have 2 swings on board next turn, and I can recycle a body thanks to drawing the BT4 Commandra. Will, though, he is seeing a line.
Yeah.
So he is just instantly climbing. He's considering what he wants to do here. He's debating on what's the best way to try and choke me and get, as many gains as he can. Because, I mean, this is a close game right now.
Yeah.
He does just Metal Gray X in the back, set me to 1. I'm like, okay, that works.
Fair.
Swing. Check high and live. I'm doing my weird hand anxious tick thing. Swing. Death X does live. So I'm like, awesome. Both my bodies live. And I just play Commandra. He goes to 3. And I'm like, okay, so no matter what now, even if he raids into me, he has to... There's so many more bodies he has to clear. So he has to see a Hades Force here or something. If he really wants to make progress after swinging.
He goes into Raid Wargray, taps both ties to make it a 1 Evo.
Yep, gains 2 memory.
So he doesn't have piercing.
Yeah, so he decides that it's better to control my board.
Sure.
And just hope that I whiff, which makes sense. He doesn't suspend. He gains just to draw 1. I do hit another Commander though, so that already is
clutch.
Good for me.
That is clutch. And then he did tap tie, which is great for the Raid Wargray stack. I mean, the ability to give yourself plus 2 KDP and then draw as well every time an attack is redirected is nuts. So he chooses to raid again into...
Yep, just swings to the same one.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to risk just spitting out another body. He wants to just try and control board, so he just focuses on the same target twice. And so now he's considering, he's like, well, I have to try and put something out because Death X is going to attempt to pop the stack. And so Will's doing some mental math right now. But does ultimately just play a tie and then end of turn effect I attempt to pop him, so he has to shed sources.
Okay. But he does have
blocker.
blocker.
Nago in hand. Yeah.
But it would only be a one-time blocker though, correct?
No, so when he redirects, he can unsuspend, so he can block
he's
twice.
A double blocker. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I'm at 1, so I'm trying to consider my options here.
You have Iron Fist in your hand.
I do.
Just kill this guy. There you go.
Yes, that's exactly what I do. I just go, well, you know what? I don't want to risk him raiding into stuff and swinging over and deleting stuff with all the memory gain he has and all the DP boosts and the draws he has. So I'm like, it has no protections. I clear board. He has to build a new stack because he doesn't have an egg in raising. And I just set myself up like where he has to build a body on board or I just take game next turn.
Right. And he's cycled enough through his deck where Sun's pretty low.
Yeah.
Sun is setting on the deck.
He's lost a lot of cards in this match so far. His deck is getting very low at this point. And I had another Iron Fisted Onslaught in hand anyway, so I'm like, worst case, if he starts building another stack, I can probably just pop it.
Yeah.
Either Death X effect will try and pop it once, and then I can just Iron Fist it, or Death X just does the trick in the first place. And so, at this point, Will is realizing he messed up. He talked about me. I don't remember exactly the sequence, but basically he said he could have sequenced it better, where he could have played the tie, and then kept turn by suspending the tie during an Evo.
Oh, sure.
Admittedly, I don't think it would have mattered because he looks like he doesn't have another rookie to go into in the back. But
he probably could have just played the Agu out and then played tie.
Yeah, I think that was his idea. I think he could have played Agu, played tie, suspended when he digivolved to gain extra memory, did other stuff. I think he basically just didn't have the ability to give the stack blocker and like handle my board a bit more.
Because I think if he were to do that, he could get back into the Raid Wargray, which can't swing, but at least could double block.
Yeah, and so he has the Ultras in hand. He's considering that. It looks like maybe he doesn't have a promo Agu in hand. I can't tell. I think that is a promo Agu.
Probably just afraid to keep drawing off a Digi.
Yeah, because his deck is really low. So
yeah.
At this point, I think he's kind of stuck. I think he got stuck on the fact that he missed that play. Admittedly, even if he had done the play he was talking about, I don't think he had enough memory to keep turn past other stuff. And I would have been able to just Iron Fist Onslaught, clear the stack with what he had, and then he would have just...
Yeah.
I would have had game after that anyways.
Yeah, you could have just repeated it.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is him explaining what he could have done.
That's just rough.
Yeah, so he's thinking about it because I put him to 7 because I was at 1. So he's going to go over everything, trying to figure out what he wants to do. Is that?
Wondering what was insecurity for you two. Or more.
I do. I don't know if I get to show it because I think Will cuts the video off in a second. Yeah, that's him explaining the tie, getting an extra memory one. Because I was asking him how he could have extended turn because I was trying to figure it out in my head, but I couldn't figure it out. And he explained it to me. I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, I can alter this, but it's not going to matter because I'm just going to pop the commander. You'll probably just play another one out.
Yeah.
I tell him, I'm like, well, we can just play it out and see. Let's just see what happens, right?
Yeah.
But he just says, nah. He just decides to scoop.
Yeah, I mean that's just
that. Yeah, so if you saw in the last second there, that security, there was an iron fist.
There was an iron fist. Oh god.
Yeah, so he would have swung. There was, I think it was a Commander of Sealstra, and then it was another iron fisted onslaught.
Yeah. I mean that's just rough for Wargrey too. I mean, the deck has arguably gotten a lot more consistency pieces for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you break hard, it's just rough.
He had some unlucky plays. He also, I think, there's a few plays that I think will. Like the Wargreymon X play there, for example. If he would have just digit into that on the swing,
sure,
with the Metal X, he very easily could have. The stack would have survived.
Yeah.
And then he would have gained more memory back, and he would have probably been in a better spot. So there's a few things that it could have maybe gone better for him in that regard. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's funny because Jarrell, who was the other winner, right? Because I played Rio before this and I won.
Yeah.
Jarrell played against Bill and his Rosemont deck and lost, and so I actually ended up winning. that was the last match of the day there, and I won. I got first place off of that because it was a smaller group that day. And
so guys, you're in the presence of a champion over here.
Yeah, a D-Brigade champion. You know, D-Brigade out here getting first places. You know, thanks to lucky security checks.
No,
but it was fun. I mean,
yeah, it was fun, and you guys, I think you both played it well. Like you said, I mean, Will here and there, maybe some plays retrospectively speaking, but I think you played the deck as well as you could have, and obviously it showed.
Yeah, and I think Will played it still very well too. Obviously, a few things he saw like in hindsight, but you know, you can't. We're only human, right? We can't see everything all the time, so sometimes it just doesn't always work out.
I mean, Will is a hell of a player too.
He is, yeah. He's a very, very good player.
He will consistently bop me.
Yep, same. is very, very, very much same. But it was fun. It was a good match. It was a good locals in general. It was a fun day.
Nice.
And I'm just riding that D-Brigade copium train until we get the pieces of BT14 because I love playing the deck. It's so much fun. I love the archetype. Love the idea of it. And I can't wait for the support that it gets.
Yeah, so that does wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this set of commentary. Like I said, we do appreciate all the support this series has gotten over the past month or so that, you know, since we did start doing this. Let us know if any feedback. You know, we know that, yes, it's been doing well, but we always value and appreciate anything that you guys can give us to, you know, make this better for you all. Because at the end of the day, if you guys are having fun, we're having fun. It's a good time for both sides. That's the best we can ask for. So let us know. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will catch you on the flippy flip. See you guys.
Bye-bye.